Hello, everyone, and welcome to Florida's Fourth Estate. We go above and beyond to try and bring you the best guests possible for things that you might not have heard about unless you are watching Florida's Fourth Estate or if you're a fan of ClickOrlando.com. And today we have someone who has a knack for finding the weirdest, the craziest stories online. If it's a viral sensation, then this guy knows about it.
Yeah, this guy got hired, and then we started seeing these really hilarious, interesting stories on ClickOrlando.com, and we're like, we need to get him on the show.
Yeah.
But there's this interesting thing about him. I want you to take a shot of him. This is Tony Talcott. Don't say a word, Tony. This is Tony. Now, I just want you to envision what you think Tony's voice is going to sound like. He's a 27-year-old, handsome digital producer.
This is not a dating game.
He's married, ladies.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, I just want to give you a minute. If you're watching
Can I tell you what I think his voice might sound like?
What do you think it would sound like?
Hey, Ginger.
What's up, guys?
How's it going?
How you doing?
Okay.
That's what I thought Tony's voice was going to sound like. Okay, Tony, good to have you on the show.
It's nice to be here.
Okay. Tony has a great radio voice.
It is crazy. Tony, we love you here. I don't know if you know that, but we would say things anytime you would come and just ask a question. I'm like, what is that guy doing over in that department? Bring him over to
I'm very
our side.
sensitive to voices, and I remember hearing him talking to somebody behind me, and I'm like, my God, that's a good... I don't like being out-voiced in my own newsroom, Tony.
I don't think you have to worry about that.
Oh, I do. Every time you open your mouth.
Yeah, we do. But anyway, we're glad you're here. You are just the master right now of finding these crazy stories that go viral on ClickOrlando.com, our website, and it just piques the curiosity of so many people. So we asked you here today to do your top stories that you thought were some of the crazier ones that you've done during your time here. So we have a nice list you've compiled for us.
And I have the first one. I'm excited.
He and Matt insisted on doing this one.
So we have a town in Florida, and this town happens to be called Taintsville.
It is.
Is it between one thing and another? How did Taintsville, Florida, get its name, Tony?
You know, you actually called it just right there. Actually found the story. There's
Are
a
you
local
serious?
historian. Yeah.
Okay.
Who, he's actually helped work with me on a bunch of different stories. His name is Jason Byrne, and he actually told me about this one. There's a town here in Seminole County called Taintsville, and it's between Oviedo and Chilhowatha. Now, it's a small little municipality area, so it's not really all too big. But I guess way back when, they didn't really feel like they had a lot of identity. So a lot of the folks around there used to joke, well, we taint in Oviedo and we taint in Chilhowatha. Completely different meaning from today. Yeah, I know.
It's 100% different.
But no, actually, it's kind of the same. It kind of is along the same vein as something we can't talk about on the show.
But we just did.
We just totally did it. Tony, thank you.
Oh
I never thought I'd get to say
I love that.
Taintsville.
Yeah,
Taintsville, Florida.
It taint what you thought.
No.
God, we're going to get
This
in so much
taint gonna
trouble.
make it on
no,
TV.
Exactly. Okay,
no.
so that was the number 6 story that had the crazy headline. The number 5 story, we hear about this all the time, Tony, sex in the villages. Okay,
Oh,
what's
look
up
at
with those? They're not scrunchies. Loofahs? What are those things? Those poofs? What are they?
Loofahs.
Loofahs. Okay.
So, this one threw me for a loop when I first moved down here a few years ago. Because I kept hearing this thing in the newsroom about, oh yeah, folks up in the villages get freaky. They got these loofahs that they hang in their cars, and they're supposed to be color-coded to indicate, hey, this is what I'm down for, whether it be swingers or, you know, any other
Their
number
level
things
of
that I can't
kinkiness.
Watching
I
or
can't
whatever.
talk about it all on, TV, but I started doing a deep dive into it because I'm like, how did this thing start?
How deep, Tony? Jeez.
Not too deep. Like I said, married man, but
He visited. Okay. So so tell us a little bit about what you discovered.
well, first of all, it doesn't seem like the loofah thing is actually true. That seems like it was a joke that was made by a drag queen a few years back.
Okay.
Yeah, so that doesn't seem to be true.
So
It's
that's
just a
made
urban
up.
legend, yeah.
Yeah.
But you might see some pool noodles instead of these cars or things like that. Now, I guess that some folks out there actually put these little decorations on their cars because they're old. There's a lot of people around there. Their memories aren't that great, so they need help finding their cars in all these massive parking lots. So they put stuff on their golf carts, they'll put stuff on their cars so that they can help identify where they parked.
So they're
That
just
makes more
elderly
sense.
and trying to remember where their car is, and everybody's
They're not
like,
getting it on.
who are you trying to sleep with?
So folks are basically just projecting. That's the best way
Oh
to
my!
put it.
See,
Okay.
Matt, calm down.
I didn't. Okay, so we can all say if whoever sees this, it's a bunch of baloney about the. And also, by the way, for a while they said that the highest level of STDs in the country was in the villages. I believe that's also a made-up non-fact.
100% true. Yeah, that is a made-up fact.
Okay, it's true that it's not a
It's
fact.
100% true. It is a made-up fact. Yeah.
Do you see what he did there, folks? That's a man who can
That's why
write a
he's
good
clever. Yeah,
online
exactly.
headline. Thank
All
you,
right.
Anthony. All right. The other thing you talk about is some anti-gravity monuments in Florida.
I don't
Tell
even know
me-
what that means.
I don't understand it. All I see is a line on a paper. So tell me what this is.
I couldn't tell you too much about it either. I mean, I found these a while back, and it caught me off guard because I'm like, why is there this big tablet sitting in the ground at some of the colleges here in the country that talk about gravity? Mm-hmm. So I found out there's a couple of these here in Florida itself, and they were put up by a guy named Robert Babson, millionaire way back in the 1900s, right? This guy was an expert with finance. He was an expert with science. He wanted to invest in a lot of colleges around the country that were struggling with their finances, like Bethune-Cookman University or University of South Florida. The problem is that he really hated gravity. So he wanted to wage a war on gravity, the concept of gravity itself, right? He blamed gravity for all kinds of problems in society, like illnesses, the fact that his sister died, just a whole bunch of terrible things. So this guy really had a bone to pick with gravity.
He waged a war against gravity.
Against gravity.
I never
Wouldn't he
even.
float out into space without gravity?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Is
we
it-
all
what is-
understand
what's
what
his
gravity
point?
does.
Well, so the whole idea is supposed to be if he invests enough in science and invests enough in a lot of students who are going to school for sciences, they'll eventually help us to overcome gravity. And these
Wow.
monuments were put up at a bunch of these different schools that he invested in as a way to say, hey, yeah, no, we believe in you guys. You guys can do it. Never stop dreaming about destroying gravity.
Destroying gravity. Okay, that's
Okay, I'm gonna have
freaky.
to-
That blew my. I
I'm
don't
gonna
even
have to look
understand that.
into that one a little
I know.
more.
I want to know more about
And
that
I
one.
found out the guy's research institute, all the way up in, I want to say New York, but don't quote me on that.
Northeast.
Yeah, up in the Northeast. Actually reached out to them, and one of the guys is the guy who's leading it right now is actually the grandson of the co-founder with Roger Babson who made it. It is the Gravity Research Foundation.
So there's more than one person who wanted to get rid of
Oh
gravity.
yeah, this is an entire foundation of people under this mission. So, and they still invest in folks today.
I don't even understand. We're just going to move
hard
on
to
to the
wrap my
next
mind
one.
around.
It
Okay.
really is.
It's
Okay,
crazy.
we're going to bring it down to earth again. So this one I love. This is the number 3. Have you seen the Ratman, the unsolved mystery of UCF's vigilante superhero, Ratman?
Ratman, yeah, that one.
Rat man.
Well, this one got me kind of interested right off the bat because of the fact I found on Twitter there was a post by the police department over at UCF saying, "Hey, Ratman, can you help us find this bike thief?" I'm like, who the heck is Ratman?
UCF police were asking him for help.
Yep,
They put out the rat signal.
that they did. And you joke. But I guess this guy was a phenomenon a few years back. Students all over the campus were just trying to figure out who this guy was, the Ratman. So the whole legend started. There was a viral video online of some guy in a rat costume. He had the tail, he had the ears, he had everything, stopping a supposed bike thief on the campus in the middle of the night. And he went viral as this big superhero for UCF. And so everybody was like, yeah, Ratman, please help us with all manner of different things.
Save us, Ratman.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
And it turns out, I got to the bottom of it. It was a film student who was trying to film a mockumentary about some supposed superhero named Ratman. So he got his friend to dress up in a rat costume and fight another one of his friends who was dressed up as a bike thief. And I guess somebody accidentally taped it somewhere, and it went viral. And a lot of people confused it for a real thing that happened.